This is Peri Orrin, hairstylist. So we're just having a live chat this morning just to talk about bridal hair and makeup, what we're about. If you've got any questions at all for us, please put your questions on the chat and we'd be happy to answer all your questions while we're live this morning. We're going to be a maximum of an hour, but maybe not quite as long as that, depending on how many questions we do get. But yeah, we just want to talk a bit about bridal makeup and what it means for you, really. So normally this time of year is the start of a really busy wedding season. School holiday, Easter school holidays is normally a really busy time for weddings, isn't it, Peri? So it's a Saturday. We'd normally be full on wedding prep, wouldn't we? At the moment, so
we'd be in the midst of it.
We'd be right in the midst of it, yeah. Sort of almost 11 o'clock, almost kind of waiting for people to start getting dressed, and then the exciting bit starts where everything starts coming together, and you know, all your plans are starting to come to fruition, and yeah, that's the really nice bit. So we're really missing that. We're really missing.
We are really missing the contact with people, and you know, looking at, you know, getting you all ready and the excitement of it all and the build up of it all. And I feel so, you know, sad for you guys that, you know, you've had the build up, you've had your trial and you're so excited, and then to have to reschedule. But all we can say is that when the day does come, it will be amazing, and it'll be even more worth the wait. You know, and the other things you can think is, you know, if you've got a little bit of extra time, you might have a little bit of extra budget now, so you can maybe have, you know, something extra to what you thought you could have, which, you know, is always a bonus.
Yeah, definitely. It is disappointing. We're disappointed as well, because we get hugely excited about wedding day. And it's like the anticipation, isn't it? The trial is lovely and we get to know you guys, but it is actually the anticipation of the actual day.
Yeah.
We get super excited as well, so we're missing that excitement and that buzz of a wedding.
And there is nothing like leaving a wedding day. You know, you get everybody ready, everybody's so excited, and you leave at the best point. But there is nothing like that feeling of leaving, you know, someone on the most magical day of their lives, feeling $1 million. You know, and we haven't. I think I've done 2 or 3 weddings this year, which we're mid of April, which is unheard of, and I'm really missing it.
Yeah, me too. It is that people contact and making it super special, because what our approach to bridal hair and makeup is that, you know, it doesn't start when you arrive for your ceremony. It starts when you wake up in the morning and you want to feel relaxed and pampered and have a lovely time with your bridal party, have a glass of champagne, just chill out, be beautified, and just enjoy the whole experience, really. So yeah, we're really missing being part of that at the moment, but hopefully we were just sort of saying, actually, next year is going to be a super busy year. So many people are going to be getting married next year, and so if you've got a date booked, or you're thinking about getting married next year, book all your suppliers in super early, because all the dates are going to get booked up really quickly. So yeah, just be mindful of that it is going to be super busy, because a lot of people have rescheduled their spring 2020 weddings till next spring and summer.
You know, we're not just saying it for us, we're saying it for all your suppliers. If you've got a supplier in mind that you'd love, you know, make contact with them as soon as possible, because, you know, the latter dates of this year and the early dates of next year are super busy from rescheduling, as well as already having bookings for 2021. So, you know, got to make sure that, you know, if you've got a supplier that you really want, you need to make sure we are taking that opportunity to book them.
Definitely. And so I've been doing bridal makeup for 15 years. Peri, you've been doing hairstyling for 18 years or longer?
So I've been hairdressed for 18 years, but specialising in bridal for probably 12 or 13.
So we've been working together for the last few years. Obviously, we normally do 20 to 30, the last couple of years, 20 to 30 weddings each year together.
Yeah, about that.
which is really lovely. We've got another team member, Justine, who's listening this morning. Hello. We're missing you too. So yeah, we normally have a lovely group of us that provide all the wedding hair and makeup.
Yeah, depending on your party size as well. Obviously, that's why we have these other guys that are amazing that we work alongside. So depending on how big your party is, we can accommodate that.
And also, yeah, if there are a lot of you, and a lot of people do have, you know, if you've got sort of 5, 6 more bridesmaids, then you don't want to be like starting to get ready at 5, 6 silly o'clock in the morning. So I often bring Justine with me, or I do weddings with Justine, and just to make it more relaxed, and so you don't have to rush around and start getting ready too early. It's going to be you feel nice and pampered. And
I think the morning of your wedding, I think you need to understand that the morning of your wedding, you're with the people you love the most, the people that you know couldn't imagine your day being without. So you need to make the most of it and enjoy it. Have a lovely breakfast, you know, hair, makeup, you know, all your kind of beautifying parts. You know, really make the most of that morning because it goes so quickly. But actually, that's part of the wedding day that has the most memories because you're with your loved ones. So you really do, you know, make the most of it. You know, it's your first look from your dad or your mum, and you know that is one of the most important parts to me, is, you know, having that wow factor.
I think that's what people do underestimate, don't they? They think if they start getting ready at sort of 8, 9 o'clock, but the ceremony isn't till 2 or 3 o'clock.
All the time.
Yeah, and it does sound like a lot of time, but actually it goes so quickly. And we always plan for you to be ready at least an hour before either your ceremony starts or you're due to leave wherever you're getting ready to go to the venue, because this allows for any kind of contingencies that might be going on, anything that happens, because sometimes it can be a little bit uncertain on the wedding morning.
Yeah.
Obviously we plan it, we structure the morning so it's all planned out. You don't have to worry about anything, but yeah, we always make sure you're ready a good hour before, and then you've got lots of time to get dressed leisurely, have a glass of bubbles, and enjoy it. So a lot of planning does go into the wedding morning to make sure it's as enjoyable as possible for you all. So that's something that people do worry about, Peri, that they're worried that, you know, they're not sure obviously how it's going to work on the morning, and obviously we're doing this all the time, so we can help kind of guide you and work with your photographer and other wedding suppliers, and obviously we know a lot of the contacts at the wedding venue, so that we can make sure it runs as smoothly as possible. And it's the planning that ensures that happens, basically, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You know, from the minute we walk through that door in the morning, you know, we have such a, you know, organised, and we're very relaxed, but we both know how each other works and timings and things like that. So as soon as we kind of get there, you know, you've got nothing to worry about because we plan everything to what you need and timings and things like that. So yeah.
And I think brides normally have their hair and makeup kind of sort of second or third, or slightly kind of mid to late morning. A lot of brides are like, oh, do I go first with my hair and makeup, or do I go last? I mean, say, like Peri said, we are super flexible. But you generally, the bride doesn't go first. Sometimes it's last, but you don't want to have any kind of last minute rushes. So it's just, you know, just kind of maybe have bridesmaids go first, and then the bride, and then mother of the bride, mother of the groom.
Yeah, because there's usually things for you guys to do, like bride to do in the morning, you know, that you want to have a look. If you're getting ready at your venue, you might want to have a look around and make sure everything is getting planned and done already. So the last thing you want to do is have this amazing face of hair and makeup, and if you get hot and flustered, you know, we then have to redress it. So we make sure you have plenty of time to do that in the morning first, and then go on, and then we do yours, so then you're completely fresh and ready to go. Hello, Sabina. Thank you for coming to join us. So yes, it's really, really, you know, nothing to worry about. That, you know, if you feel like the bridesmaids are all done and ready before you, there is a reason for that, and that is for you to enjoy your morning, not feel rushed, and make sure all the jobs that you want to do and have a look around your venue you can do.
That's right. Hi, Sabina. Hi, Kaylin. Thank you for coming online. Kaylin just asking, yes, can't wait for your wedding next year, Kaylin. Super excited. So yes, when is the best time to have the trial? So it can vary a little bit. Peri and I like to, it's great if you can have the trial maybe when you have a dress fitting. That works kind of well. And if you have hair and makeup trial on the same day, and then you have those done, and then you go for your dress fitting, so you can see the entire look, which is lovely because that's probably the only time you're going to see your total look before the day. So that's possibly an idea, but it's sort of, we're flexible. It's variable. So for me, kind of in a makeup and skincare kind of way, ideally it's kind of 6 months is great. But if you've got kind of really problem skin, Kaylin, then maybe a bit earlier than that, so we can really get your skin in the best possible condition. So I can, have a look at it, give you some advice, and maybe try some new skincare ranges. But some people, it's kind of further down the line. It's closer to the day, isn't it? But if you've got your date booked well in advance, you've got more time to plan and play with. Some people have their trial before their hen do, don't they, Peri?
And that's really nice because then you're almost getting a little bit of value for money. The only thing with that is obviously if you don't want people to see how you're going to be looking on the day, that's obviously not ideal. But if you're wanting to test it out for durability, because obviously you're going to be drinking, you're going to be hopefully eating and dancing maybe, it's a good way to test out the durability as well.
But what we tend to do, if that's the case, if you are going to an event or a night out or hen do or whatever, after your trial, what we tend to do is we just tweak it a bit, don't we, Peri? So you kind of just tweak the hair a bit. I tweak the makeup a little bit, so it's not going to look, if you've got your bridal party there with you on your hen do, you haven't got the full, the full look. It's slightly different, so you're not going to spoil the surprise for the day.
Oh, Danielle, we would do your wedding in a heartbeat again.
Thank you. Yeah, we used your picture. We all lovely pictures, and we were like, oh.
We have to use those pictures.
It was fabulous. Yeah, thank you, Danielle, for your lovely comments. That's really nice. I know, what a lovely day, and lovely memories for us too. So that particular day, Peri kind of really saved the day because unfortunately Danielle had a nightmare. A hairdresser was ill and let her down on the day, which it is a rarity, but she was one of the unlucky ones, and we were so upset. But I called Peri and said, "What, are you busy today?" And within half an hour, she was. So yeah, we can always rely on Peri. What would we do without you?
Oh, same with you. Oh, Kaylin, yes, I'd love to hear from you. If you are looking for a hairdresser, I'd love to take care of you. So yeah, come on over and have a chat with me. I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, to have us both on board for your wedding day, Kaylin, that'd be super, super exciting. Where's your venue, actually, Kaylin? I'll let you I'll let you take a bit of time to answer that because there is a bit of delay on the live stream. But yeah, let us know where your venue is. Obviously, we work all over Essex, so and outside of Essex as well. So let us know wherever your venue is. We know them really well.
Yeah, I think between us, I think we've conquered most venues now. There's a couple that are opening this year, which I'm really excited to work at. I've got a couple of weddings that are new ones. But I think between us, I think we have pretty much worked at them all.
Yeah, so we can always give you advice. We kind of know how a lot of venues work, don't we? So we can, we're on hand all the time to give you a bit of advice about what, how it's going to be on the day. So yes, going back to a little bit. Obviously, Peri, Allsit Hall, lovely. Okay. Yeah, I've got amazing bridal suite there. Huge bridal suite. Lovely, Kaylin. Yeah, back to the trial. So Peri said about it is a test. So it's not just, makeup wise, it's not just a test of Obviously, we've got to get the perfect look for you that you're going to absolutely love. But it is about testing everything out as well. So for that reason, if you are going out after your trial, it's great because you can literally, if you're going out dancing, like Peri said, dancing, eating, drinking, you're testing out how long your makeup is going to last, which is really important for me. And I ask everyone to feed back how it wears, because though I've got a huge amount of confidence in the products that I use, and they are literally tried and tested on hundreds of weddings, and I do tweak them, so I buy new products and test them out, but I've got my staples as well that I love, and I know Peri's going to talk about some of her products, so we may show you a few of the products that we do rely on, and we've got a huge amount of trust. But because what we want is for you to just feel amazing, look and feel amazing, and then forget your hair and makeup, so you don't have to do any touch-ups throughout the day. You can just enjoy your celebrations with your friends and family and feel amazing and not have to worry about, you know, redoing makeup, anything like that. You don't want to be worrying about that.
And for hair in your trial, for me, you know, updos and things will give you an idea of how it will feel during the day. If there's, you know, if you want to go for a full updo and maybe, you know, some softness, it will give me an idea of how it wears. But for example, for myself, I curled my hair this morning and I know by lunchtime it will be pretty smooth and quite straight. So I have done on a couple of brides is curled each side of the hair with a different tool, and then they let me know throughout the day how well it wears to which one would be the sort of the optimum tool to use on their wedding day. So yeah, it just gives us an idea what's best to use, because the last thing we want to do is do the hair, leave, and it's perfect, but by the time you have your photographs or by the time it comes to the evening, you know, it needs redoing or it's not quite how you want it. So the trial is a really good testament to us of what to use and what products to use as well.
So after your trial, feedback to both of us if you want to make any tweaks, because that helps us to ensure it stays perfect on the day, is what, you know, what we want to provide for you. And also, Peri, I know you, depending on the weather as well, with hair and makeup, we have to tweak things. And my sort of wedding preparations, makeup wise, are different in the summer to they are in the winter, obviously because of the conditions. And you're the same with hair, aren't you?
Yeah, more so obviously if you've got like myself, very fine hair and you want to have it down on a very, very hot, humid day, I know that within a couple of hours it's not even going to look nice, if that makes sense. If it drops, it can look nice, but it can just look fluffy. So it gives me an idea of how it wears, to which we would then decide on how to have it. Also, another consideration to take with your trial, why it's also good to wait until you've got your dress, because depending on your neckline will depend on, you know, what would flatter you the most. For example, if you have a very, very high neck with lace and you want it down and long and loose, if that within an hour or so, that's going to rub and catch on the lace, and that's going to make it super fluffy and super fly away. Or, for example, if you've got a strapless dress and you've got super, super bare shoulders and you've all got it up super, super high, you're going to feel quite exposed. So it just kind of, once you've got your dress, it will give you a little bit more of an idea of an option of what you want to head towards.
Yeah, so we don't really want you to have your trial until you know your dress style, because that will help us hugely. And we look at the colours as well.
Bridesmaid dresses, you look at the colours as well, don't you, Leanne?
Those dresses, the style, the flower colours and style, and the whole kind of wedding theme, so that everything kind of ties in nicely, and that helps us to get a kind of overall vision for what you're trying to achieve on the day. So all things like that play a huge part, and we take into consideration everything, all the elements, before we decide on what's going to be the perfect look for you. But like Peri said as well, it's got to be what you're comfortable with. You want to feel like your best you don't want to feel like a completely different person. I don't think, I mean, I know I have had experience of people wanting a completely different look for themselves on the wedding day, but that's quite unusual. You just want to be your best you, really, so that you look back on the photos and you love seeing the photos in years to come, and it's not anything too high trend. I know trends will play a part, but you want to keep it not too high trend, so that you still love, seeing your seeing your wedding photos.
There's nothing worse looking back and thinking, oh, I'm not sure I like that. So yeah, keeping it very, I think a lot of the time is very simple and elegant, and enhancing what beauty you have, definitely is, I think, an important factor.
It's got to be your personality, you know, it's got to come through with your hair and makeup styling, because then you'll feel your most comfortable and confident. Otherwise, you're not going to feel. It's going to be, obviously everyone's a little tense anyway, because of the, you know, the gravity of the situation and the anticipation of the actual ceremony and everything. But you know, we want to make you feel as comfortable as you possibly can, so that you're not going to be feeling you know, on edge any more than you perhaps would do. But hopefully it'd be more like excited butterflies in your stomach rather than too many nerves. Everyone's slightly different on that. So it's got to be your personality and what's right for you, and everyone's totally different in that. So what I do with makeup is I look at and I ask you what kind of makeup you normally wear. What are you comfortable with? What do you like to see? What are there any pictures or any people that you like their makeup? But also it's got to be your kind of natural you as well. So we advise if we think something's really not going to work. You might love a look, but we might say it's really not going to work for you. We can tweak it. It could be, we could offer alternatives and say this could work. But we can always try if there's a look that you really, really love, because sometimes you have to try it to see if it's actually going to work, and then make the necessary tweaks that you want to make.
Absolutely.
Has anyone got any questions that they want to ask? Thanks for joining us, Lauren. She was trying to find the live, but she's here now, so that's lovely. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, if you've got any kind of questions or any feedback, Danielle, if you've got anything you want to say about your actual morning or the whole sort of process. But we just like to make it as enjoyable and as possible, because you're spending out, you know, not just on us, but it's a huge investment of your time as well. And it's got to be what's absolutely perfect for you and your partner. It doesn't matter kind of what everyone else is doing. Just go with what's right for you. So thank you, Anna Maria, for what kind of lipstick should a bride wear? Everyone's so different, and as Justine will know, there are, and we've got a lot of MAC.
The lipstick bag is the best bag in the world.
Yeah, how many do I have? Oh, I don't know how. I should count them up. I'm scared to think how many lipsticks I've got, and sometimes having too many lipsticks can be not such a good thing, because there's too many choices. But there are certain ones that really look great. But sometimes I try one lipstick and it works, and other times it could be 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, it's just, everyone's so different. I think people never kind of go, they kind of go for a you know, a nice kind of pinky shade, but you know, not too pinky, nothing too bright, too way out there. Although we've done some trials recently.
Red lip, which has been amazing.
A red lip, yeah, and because it suited that person, it suited that personality, and it just worked. A red lip is really unusual for a wedding, but for some people it's it just looks fabulous. But yeah, the majority, and if you like something you know, much more natural makeup, then I mean, some staple ones, as Justine will know, are kind of Faux by MAC, is a lovely kind of classic.
Velvet Teddy.
Velvet Teddy is a classic, slightly less pinky, so it's more kind of natural tones. We've also got what else have we got? Twig.
I've got Twig on.
You've got Twig on, brilliant. Twig, I hate that name, Twig. I think it's
I know, it sounds awful.
It's a really nice colour, because it's kind of like a pinky brownie. It's such a lovely colour, but it just sounds a bit of a naff name. So how do we get the lipstick to stay on for the whole day? That's the one thing. Oh yeah, modesty. Modesty is another one. Thank you, Justine. Yes, that's one of one of your favourites and my favourites. That's a classic. That is one thing. Obviously, you could wear a long wear lipstick. I'm not a huge fan of those kind of long wear lipsticks that kind of stay, because they feel a little bit drying and they don't give that nice kind of full look to the lip. I don't think so. I prefer something by MAC. Obviously, the lip is prepped, so sometimes I put a layer of foundation.
You usually put some Carmex on first as well, don't you, to really moisturise?
Really moisturise, really condition the lips, and that's kind of doing its magic while I'm doing the rest of the makeup. Then I take that off. Sometimes put a layer of concealer or foundation just to give some grab and hold to the lip. MAC Prep and Prime Lip is good for making the lips feel kind of fuller, more kind of plump, and also giving a bit more hold. So, and I do like the matte lipsticks because they've got a huge amount of pigment in them. I advise brides though that you probably will want to do a little lipstick top up after your wedding breakfast. So the lipstick will be fine for your ceremony and all your pictures and everything. Obviously, I use a lip liner, sometimes fill in with the lip liner to get extra hold. But after you've been eating and drinking, you might want to do a little lipstick top up after your wedding breakfast before your evening guests start to arrive. But that is the only thing that you should need to do. So a lot of brides-to-be do like to buy the lipstick, and it's quite a nice thing to do, just to buy a wedding.
It's like a little keepsake as well. I've got a couple of brides that have bought their lipstick and they wear it for special occasions. It's their, like, I've heard people have their wedding perfume and they wear that for special occasions, and it's the same with the lipstick, which I think is a really nice thing to do.
But everything else, there's nothing else that I would expect you to do. Everything else should hold for the duration, and we do use special things like primers and setting sprays, and special long wear formulas are going to make sure that it stays put all day. I do offer airbrushing. I don't use Airbase or a particular brand. I use my normal brands of foundation, but I can offer airbrushing if people do like that as well.
And same with hair product. It's all about layering, really. I use a brand called Euphora, which is vegan, cruelty-free, and it's also eco-friendly. So the gases in most sprays are butane and propane. So these are the gases that are in things like cigarette lighters and your barbecue gases and things like that, and hence why that doesn't make them eco-friendly. So the gases, and that's what also makes some hairsprays, that real sort of choky, and it gets in the back of your throat. So with the Euphora hairsprays, they are eco-friendly, so they've not got they're all natural gases. They're vegan and they're cruelty-free as well. I work with 3 different hairsprays, and I work on like a layering concept. So I work with like a workable hold, and then a strong hold, and things like that. So it's all kind of working with, what best products works for your hair as well. Same as your lipsticks and your primers and things.
They are lovely, lovely products, those from that brand. It is in the application. It's the products that we use, and it's in the application. So it's very much that layer that gives that longevity, and to make your look stay for the duration. But I love that brand of products, and I have a full vegan, cruelty-free kit as well. If people have that preference and that lifestyle, that's absolutely fine.
That's going to be very, very popular.
And they are as effective because it took a few years to get the products that were as effective as normal products. Actually, now there's so many great vegan, natural products coming through, highly, highly effective as well. This is the way it's going. It's brilliant. Lauren's just asked, Peri, what did you curl your hair today with?
So I just use the H.H. Simonson straighteners. So I kind of vary my curl. Be honest, this is the first time I've had my hair quite nice for about a week. This quarantine life is not doing me any favours. But I use the straighteners today. But I have 3 different tongs that I held in my kit. I have a waver in my kit, and I have a pair of straighteners in my kit. So depending on the size and length of the hair is what tool I will then decide to use.
No, it looks lovely. It doesn't look like it's straighteners at all. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, I brushed it out as well, which gives it a kind of a softer look.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. So is there any kind of challenges you'd say? Would you say your biggest challenge is, Peri, with hair? Anything that takes you a bit more time, or?
For me would be, you know, someone coming with a picture of a style that, you know, has got hair down to their bottom or added hair extensions in, and they've got super fine hair like myself, or short hair, but don't want to add extensions in but still want that look. So I would suggest, you know, you've got to be quite open to advice and things like that, because obviously if you want a particular style and you don't have the hair that can accommodate that, you know, I can help with that. We can get some hair extensions and some hair pieces and things like that. But what needs to be taken into consideration is you're going to have that hairstyle in for probably 12 hours at least, and hair extensions can be heavy, and then can be, you know, uncomfortable sometimes. So it's just working out, you know, do you want that style enough that you're willing to sort of put the hair extensions and things like that in, or if you're happy to go with my recommendation and show you a slightly different style that we can do without those hair extensions, but it'll be slightly tweaked on the style that you've picked. Yeah, that's what, you know, they're probably the hardest things, definitely.
And these are all sort of things that are tweaked on the trial, aren't they? One thing I was going to mention was about my the little individual lashes. So a lot of people majority of people do like lashes. I'm just going to get these out of the box so you can see them a little bit closer. I don't like strip lashes for weddings because they can feel quite heavy and they don't give a nice kind of natural look, whereas I like these. They're the same as the Ilia ones. These are salon system, so they're bought from the wholesalers, but they're exactly the same as the Ilia ones that you can get in Boots and Superdrug, wherever you got your lashes, but they just look a lot more natural. And I have about 4 or 5 different lengths of the lashes. And everyone says, well, I wear them myself and I can't feel when I've got them in.
I was going to say, the amount of brides you've had that we've done trials and they've said, no, I don't want lashes, and they said, oh, just try them, and you know, they're very soft and they don't even notice they're there, but they can really see how much it opens the eyes, and it really reflects in their photographs and stuff like that, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. That's a huge consideration actually, because makeup will, and hair as well to some degree, but it will look different in photographs. So that's another thing we get you to do, or ask you to do, is take lots of photographs when you have your trial, just so you can see how you look feels in the photographs, because it's slightly different than in real life. But yeah, everyone loves these lashes. Some people just have a few put in just to give that extra little kind of curl, and that's why I like them, because my lashes are quite short and not curly, so I haven't got them in today, but they just give that kind of lovely curl to the edge of the eye and just give that slightly more definition in your photographs. You really open up the eyes. They're not,
these are just a short-term thing as well, aren't they, Leanne? They're just for a one-day wear.
Yeah. Just a 24, 48-hour wear. Some people do keep them in longer, but I don't guarantee them for you know, longer than kind of 24 hours really. They're going to stay in absolutely fine for the whole day, and they're going to come out nice. They're nice and easy to take off with a cleanser, or you know, just mine actually fall out when I put the just warm water, they come out, but they stay on really well, and yeah, they look really lovely. What I normally do is I normally put a few slightly longer ones at the corner and then graduate them in, so we get that lovely kind of almond shape to the eye, and they're super comfortable to wear. I've got normally the duo glue is really good. You can get a latex free version if anybody has any allergies, but yeah, absolutely love those lashes, and just don't like strip lashes for weddings. Strip lashes are great for parties, for nights out, but they can feel a bit heavy, and if you're not used to wearing lashes, if you've never really tried them, you probably wouldn't enjoy wearing a strip lash. And you want to, you know, you don't want to be worrying about that on your wedding day. You just want to feel as comfortable and as good as you can be. So that's something that a lot of people go for, but I say it's not for everyone. Not everybody has.
Definitely.
So yeah, wait.
What other kind of problems do you tend to come across, Leanne, or what are your brides' biggest concerns when they have their makeup?
I think one is, you know, that it is going to stay on for the duration, but that's obviously tested out in the trial. And if it's not lasting in the trial for whatever reason, then obviously I tweak it on the day. I tweak the products that I use, the preparation, because it just gives me an idea of what's working on your particular skin. Because everyone's skin is so different, and that's the thing with, as Justine know, with makeup products. And hair as well. What can work for your best friend isn't going to work for you potentially. You know, we can all recommend mascaras and things like that, but you know, they may not work. So it is about testing everything out, and making sure that you know, it's going to last and it's going to be perfect for you. Obviously, if someone you know, is struggling with their skin, that is, you know, a big consideration, as Peri is at the moment. So we've just got Peri on a new skincare, and I don't profess to be.
I'm a teenager again.
It can happen at any age. You know, it can happen in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. You know, it's not something that's limited to teenage and 20s anymore, unfortunately. So lots of kind of skincare issues, and I'm not a skincare expert as such, but obviously I'm seeing bare skin day in, day out. Not at the moment, but normally, and obviously I've got a lot of experience with what works. And sometimes I've even used a mineral powder foundation. If occasionally people do have real problem skin, and a liquid foundation, which I generally use most of the time for bridal. Sometimes a liquid just doesn't sit on the skin. It kind of highlights the pores, doesn't quite sit on the pores correctly. So for a few weddings, I've used a mineral powder, and it is kind of the way it's built up, but it's looked beautiful and worked really, really lovely, and lasts for the duration. So it's just, I have to keep an open mind and look at all the best products that are available, and it's just that experience of what knowing. Like with hair, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's that knowledge of you know, seeing people's hair day in, day out, that will, you know, give you the best solutions that that you can really. So yeah.
What about like things like tan, Leanne? What would you advise for that?
So yeah, lots of people, not as many people fake tan as they used to a few years ago, but obviously sometimes people do tan or just naturally tan. If that's another consideration, if you're having your trial in a different season to when your wedding is, obviously I consider and ask you about how your skin tone and shade changes with the seasons. So something to, you know, to think about. I adjust the foundation. So sometimes I'll use a slightly different shade of foundation, the same brand, but slightly different shade on the actual day, depending on if you've got more of a tan, less of a tan possibly, or if you have had a fake tan, a spray tan done. I can tweak the shade. We know that the brown works because we've tried it at the trial, and then it's just tweaking so we get a different effect for the actual day. So that's a normal that's a normal scenario really. And my skin tone changes a lot throughout the years. So some people it stays the same, but other people it varies. And say you might have a spray tan, and then it affects as well. So all that is taken into consideration when you have your trial, and that things might be slightly different on the day. And even if your skin might be slightly different on the day as well. So yeah, I consider all of those things. So yeah, Justine loves the lashes. Yeah, we love those. And everyone's like really surprised how quickly the lashes go on, but we have been doing it for a long time. So yeah, we can manage the lashes well. So what about when it comes to the actual day, Peri? So what we normally do is we're available, we're on hand to discuss the plans for the actual morning, aren't we, at any stage, and give our advice. But when it comes to the actual day, so we normally get in touch with you, you know, within a couple of weeks before, and just go over all the plans again, don't we? The timings, where you're getting ready.
Reassure you that we'll be there.
To say, yeah, make sure adjust things if there's any adjustment needs to be made in the timings, or any tweaks or anything, or sometimes people add an extra person on or take someone off or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of with the run up to things. And then so we normally work, so we allow at least an hour before your actual ceremony, before you're, you know, so you're ready in plenty of time. What about
get dressed and the photographer to take photographs? You'll have to see your registrar as well. So that hour gives you plenty of time to be able to do that.
What about the little ones? Because obviously with flower girls and younger bridesmaids, they don't have a full they don't have a full makeup. They sometimes have a little bit of sparkle, so they might have a little bit of gloss. And but yeah, you often do but so you're with the little
flower
ones.
girls and bridesmaids literally will do at the very last opportunity, because they don't really want to be there. They want to run around like loons. So if we do their hair first thing in the morning, by the time it comes to them getting dressed, it's wild and all over the place. So as soon as you're all done and dusted and you know you're nothing to worry about, that's when I tend to do the little ones, just so all they've got to do then is pop their dress on and walk out the door. So at least for the first hour or so they look lovely and neat and tidy, and then they can just run wild after that.
And they don't have their dresses on till the very last minute either, so that they stay hopefully as pristine for as long as possible.
Absolutely.
But do you find that quite challenging with they tend to have kind of slightly finer hair, don't they?
Definitely. And again, depends on their age as well. You know, you either have the little ones that just want a little French plait and stuff, or you'll have one that's 8 with hair down to their bottom that want this full beautiful hairstyle. They found a picture on their I don't know, Google or whatever, that they really, really want, which is really sweet. So with the finer hairs, you just kind of have to work with them. I tend to advise French plaits and things like that for the little ones that have got very fine hair, purely because you can get most of that hair back off their face, so then for a little while at least it looks neat and tidy.
Yeah, they always look lovely. And a couple of other areas, like the teenage time is a bit of a tricky age, kind of 11 to 16 with makeup particularly, and I think a lot of people are slightly worried about them not wearing too much makeup.
Right balance, isn't it? Because they want to have a full glam, but it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I was a teenager, I was slapping it on and wanted the full works, but obviously yeah, probably. Yeah. Learn a bit since then, but yeah, they do vary a lot. So I appreciate that some teenagers they don't even wear makeup, some of them, they're not used to it, but some do like a full amount of makeup. But obviously I'll do whatever you're happy, just to get a nice kind of balance between you and them, what they would like. But I appreciate that it can be a huge variation in the sort of teenage years. And for a lot of time, the mother of the bride, mother of the groom, they're often a little bit worried about having makeup done, but they want to be part of the bridal party. But it can be supernatural. I think they're worried about looking a bit overdone sometimes for the day. Some mother of brides love, if they wear their makeup every day, then they tend to be a bit more comfortable with it. But if they're not used to wearing makeup, and then they're worried about they've got to put their posh outfit on, and
that usually is the one extra trial you probably do, isn't it, Leanne, for mother of the bride? I mean, we offer trials for everybody, but if you've got 5 bridesmaids, for me anyway, if you're going to have a very similar hairstyle for all 5 bridesmaids, the best case you can do is maybe have one trial for one bridesmaid, so then they can see it. But I very rarely do a trial for bridesmaids. Mums sometimes, but for you, I know you do quite a lot of mother of the bride or mother of the groom trials, because they do have those concerns, don't they?
Yeah, they do. even if your mum or mother of the groom or bridesmaids don't have a trial, it's good to have your friend or your mum or your sister there with you at the trial. That's great for us because they obviously know you so much better than we do, and they can give you their advice, and we'd like to hear their opinion as well. And if they are considering having their hair and makeup on the day, then obviously we can have a chat with them and just
a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, just get an idea of what kind of they like, what they don't like, because it just feels, I think, for a lot of mums, it's a bit of pressure, isn't it? They are mother of the
definitely,
and they know they want to look a certain way. But if you're not comfortable, I don't wear dresses a lot, so it's just a bit of a natural kind of feeling sometimes. So it's just to put their mind at ease and make them feel as relaxed as possible as well. We want the whole bridal party to feel that they're part of it. It's their day as well. Obviously the bride, yes, of course, is the most important person, but we want everyone to enjoy it and feel like they're part of it, and their considerations are taken into account as well. And we want to do what's going to make them feel their most beautiful. So often, but often mother and bride do have a trial just to put their mind at ease. Obviously makeup between the ages, I've got a huge kit that is good for all different age groups, and it doesn't have to be. Some people will want more of a full-on makeup look, and some want more natural. Yeah. So you can just tweak it on the day, just have a little chat with them to see what they're comfortable with, and do whatever they're comfortable with. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. They've got to just look and feel amazing on the day. Just one product that I want to show you is my Laura Mercier. This is a lovely, this gives a lovely glow to the makeup. So it's it's a setting powder, but also it gives a lovely kind of sheen. I haven't got this one on today. I've got more of a blusher with a bit of a highlight in it. But yeah, I've got some lovely products that just add a really natural kind of subtle glow and luminosity to the skin. It's amazing what products are out there now. So what do you think we'll make up first? Thanks, Claire. Yeah, this is thanks for joining us, Claire. This is a really big question. It varies, doesn't it, with hair and makeup? I mean, I don't like any heat. I don't like the hair to be wet or too much heat put on the face after the makeup's been done. But normally you ask your clients to wash the hair the night before, don't you, Peri? So they're not
at the latest. So obviously, depending on how often you shampoo your hair, depends on when I suggest you to shampoo it. So for me, I wash my hair every other day. So for me, would be the night before my wedding. I've had brides that wash their hair once a week. So if they get married on the Saturday, washing it on the Wednesday would be better. Having some natural oils in the hair helps the hair hold much better. Clean, fresh washed hair will literally be very fly away and fluffy, and it will also drop a lot quicker. So we never really have to worry too much about heat blow drying on the hair on the wedding morning, apart from maybe the mother of the bride, mother of the groom. But for me, I'm quite flexible. What I would probably do is do the majority of if the hair wanted to be done first, I would do the majority of the hair first, and then I would leave the the tendrils around the face. If you're leaving anything down, I would leave those to the very last minute, just pin them out of the way, and then do them once the makeup was done.
So the great thing is, if mother of the bride or groom is having a blow dry, then what I'd normally do is get Peri to do the hair first, and then I do the makeup afterwards. If they've got a fringe or a very kind of set style around the face, then I just get Peri to check it over, tweak it to make sure it's all perfect after the makeup's been done. So we just do those fine little excuse me, tweaks and checks and things. My ideal, I suppose, is for when the hair's kind of been pinned up. So it's sort of off the face, maybe it's going to be ready to be curled, then the makeup's done, and then the hair is finished off. But Peri's brilliant. She just does any little tweaks, particularly around the face, because we don't want to mess up the hair around the face.
So Kaylin's just put her hair is quite oily. So Kaylin, if you was to wash it the night before, I do bring all different types of texture products that do cover any oil or grease or anything like that. So that isn't a problem at all. And if you washed it the night before, I mean, if you desperately want to wash it on the morning of the wedding, you can do. But obviously that will affect the hold of the style. But obviously if you're going to go up and things like that, it doesn't matter too much because there's only a few sections that will show, and I do have products that are mattifying and take away the oil from the hair. It's easier to take the oil away from the hair than it is to put back in, if that makes sense.
It's the same kind of thing with makeup as well, because you're saying your skin is also oily. It's the same kind of thing. I've got a product, you can't see it rubs off, but it's actually a Bare Minerals mattifying prep gel. I think that's the official name of it. And it's really good. I've used this one for the last couple of years. Sorry, it's Bare Minerals Bare Essentials, but you can get it from Boots or wherever you get your beauty products. It's fantastic. It's a really light gel, and it absorbs the oil before the makeup goes on and keeps it put. We've even used it in like 30-degree heat, and it's fantastic. So I mean, that's one of the things I do use a lot more of if it is really hot, because it really helps to keep the oil at bay and stop you going shiny throughout the day. So yeah, it is and we test those things out at the trial to make sure they're compatible with your skin and hair type, and just so that we know they're going to work on the day, or then tweak it further. There's another thing, I've got a powder, the Block powder by MAC. I don't think I've got one out actually, but that is absolutely fantastic. If you do have an oily skin, just generally, it's called Blot powder, so BLOT. So I'll put it on the link after the live. It's not a heavy powder. It just absorbs the oil, so you don't get build up with it. You can just literally keep applying and applying as many layers as you like. You don't get build up, and it just stops the shine coming through. It's absolutely amazing for oily skin. And what I do bear in mind is that most people do have an oily T-zone anyway, and you don't want to be looking like an oil slick by the end of the day. So even if you do like a bit of highlight and a really kind of glowy skin, it's important that the skin is prepped properly, so we get that lovely glow to the skin, but it's still going to hold, it's still going to stay where it is, and that's about getting the right products for your skin.
I think that's really important with your trial as well. If you do have these issues in the trial, you can then sort of advise some different skincare and maybe some different treatments to have done in the meantime as well, can't you?
Definitely, yeah. So getting a glowy skin for like an everyday look is quite different to a bridal look, because you just want to, you do want it to last that much longer. Yeah, Claire, yeah, have it in your kit. I love the Block powder. Haven't found anything that, although the Laura Mercier is lovely as like a finishing setting powder, but still the Block powder is absolutely brilliant for oily skin, or to stop shine coming through.
Yeah.
So thank you, Elise, for joining. What colours would you recommend for a natural glam smoky eye for brown eyes? I tend to like more of like a slightly aubergine kind of colour for brown eyes. So not go too tonal. You could go a little bit of the rose gold. Can look lovely on brown eyes, but also looks lovely on blue eyes. But also this palette, I've probably shown this to you before. This is a MAC palette, Burgundy ×9. Justine and I love this one. Let's just show you a little bit closer. But it's got the tonal, but it's got slightly pinkies as well. So slightly aubergine kind of tone. So it's a lovely, and I use this one a lot. It just gives brown eyes a little bit of a lift, but you can still get a lovely kind of smoky effect as well with that one. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, Kaylin says she's going to start having monthly facials. Fantastic, Kaylin. It's a really good idea. You've got more than a year. If you've got more than a year, start really looking after your skin by having facials, and also with Peri, get some advice
Yeah, so like with your trials and stuff, I also advise different types of colour and stuff like that, purely because if you are having, say, a very pulled back hairstyle and the person that does your highlights or your colour does it a certain way, it can have a negative effect on the hairstyle you choose. So obviously I am a full-time hairstylist as well as bridal stylist, so I can offer you to do your colour for the day as well to make sure you get the optimum colour result, so that when you do pull that back, it keeps it very, very soft, very natural, rather than having, you know, your real lined highlights as well through there. So, you know, and treatments on the hair, regular haircuts, all of that is really important also.
So yeah, it's good to prepare well ahead of time, isn't it? And obviously we can help you and give you some guidance on that. I was just going to tell you one other product, the MAC Love Me lipsticks. These are really nice because they're very kind of conditioning for the lips, and they give a nice kind of plumped, sort of glowy look to the lips, but also they kind of intensify. So with more applications, so if you put a couple of applications on, the colour really intensifies on the lip and it stays on really well. I've got French Silk. I mentioned this on my other live. French Silk is the colour that I'm wearing today. It's maybe a little bit too peachy. I think what's another one that I use for, I think more of a bridal colour. And let me have a look, would be Très Blasé. In fact, one of my March brides had Très Blasé in the Love Me lipstick range, and that's just a lovely kind of very natural neutral pink, like a nude pink. It says it's called like a nude brown on the MAC website, but it's actually got a pinkiness to it. So Très Blasé is a lovely bridal colour, I think. So yes, I will put all the products, Claire. I'll put I'll list all the products that we've been talking about on the post, so that you can go and get these products. And sometimes, you know, try them out, see what you think of them. You know, before, see if they actually work for you. So you can have a look at these products. Is there anything else that you can recommend? Use a special hairspray or anything? Peri?
It's just literally keeping your hair in the best possible condition, regular trims every 6 to 8 weeks, keeping those ends and the tensile strength really, really strong, so that when we do put that up, there is no fluffy flyaway ends and that we're going to have to hide and disguise. I usually recommend before the wedding date, between 2 weeks and 10 days before the wedding, to have your final colour. Gives enough time for it to settle down, but not enough time to get any regrowth as well. And same with the haircut, it will just give it a nice heavy, strength on the bottom, and we'll keep that, you know, super soft and less, you know, wild when we're putting it up as well.
And then one thing, what's people often do after the wedding day, so everyone grows the hair, don't they, for the wedding day, so they can have their updo however they want it, and then yeah, they all get it cut off, don't they, as soon as the wedding's
One
over.
extreme to another.
I love that though. I love that. Everyone's going for the super cut after. Do they have a complete restyle?
Yeah, I've had a few that have gone from like bra strap length hair to like a pixie crop, like graduated bobs. Yeah, definitely. It's really popular, and there's a lot of people who do it if they can do it before they go on honeymoon, so then they look like they've got a different look for their honeymoon. And if they're going somewhere really, really hot and they've got hair down to their bottom, obviously if they have that chop, it makes life a lot easier for them as well.
Yeah, because often people do, I suppose a lot of people do have a break before they go on honeymoon, and that might be even more so. So I think people are travelling further, aren't they, for honeymoons? They're going to far off places, so they have that little bit of a break. That is one thing I do advise when I do these lashes. They are only a short-term wear, so if you want perfect lashes, if you're going on honeymoon straight away and you want perfect lashes, then probably lash extensions are the better option for you. I tend to say to people, try both options and see which you prefer. You know, you've got to try everything out and see what works for you, because we can guide you, but it's not until you actually try it that you know exactly what works for you. So we're going to shoot off in a short while, because we think an hour is probably long enough for everyone.
We can talk all day. That's the problem.
About when, yeah. about weddings. So yeah, we're missing our wedding memories and
Really
wedding
are.
stories at the moment. God, can't wait to get back to that. We're back to, well, June at the moment. Hopefully we've got one in June. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be going ahead. We don't know, but that's what we're hoping for. We're just waiting on, see what, obviously we're locked down for another 3 weeks, unfortunately, but we'll be seeing what venues are going to be doing. And we really hope it's going to all kind of start, opening up after the 3 weeks, and we can start kind of getting back to normal, which would
And
be
just to
really nice.
reiterate, really, next year is going to be, and the latter part of this year is going to be busy. So if you do have suppliers, not necessarily just us, obviously we'd love to take care of you, but any other suppliers that you want to use and take care of, your day, get them booked as soon as possible. And if you do struggle to find any suppliers as well, we have an amazing network of people that we've worked with over the years as well. So we can always put some recommendations in of if you're struggling to, if you've rescheduled and struggling to find a supplier for your day, just contact us. We're a font of knowledge.
We know loads of really good people in the industry that will really look after you, because that's what it's about. It's getting great customer service, getting looked after. So your day is the best possible day it can be. So I think we'll have a brilliant celebration when lockdown is finished, and our first wedding, we don't know exactly where that's going to be, but we can't wait for that day, and hopefully Justine with us as well, and it will be a nice celebration. Get back to that, because we're missing it so much. So we're probably going to say goodbye for now. We may do another live during lockdown, just to keep you updated. Obviously, when we do get back to normal, our hygiene standards are of the utmost importance, and we use various kind of products. I'm going to be doing a post.
Kaylee, we know a couple of florists that are amazing. So if you want to send me or Leanne a message, I can get them sent over to you.
We know some lovely florists, yeah. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you very soon. And
take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.